this much grinding. You will be loud. It will be loud. So if you guys don't want loud noises, you might want to mute me and not listen to me at all. But I figure I'd just leave the live up and get after it. And then I got my comment section here. TikTok, I will do my best to try to look at any comments that come through. So anyway, just running through ops. See if you guys want to hop on, shoot us a comment, answer any questions. I know it's Sunday. I got a couple hours here, so we want to get started, or at least move along on the QC on the Chicago Adz before we take them to Black Oxide. So anyway, that's what's going on. So first thing we do, actually I already got these set here. I got one in here. First thing I'm doing is on the bottom side, I've decided I really like a chamfer on both the top and bottom. It allows that tool to cam over a lot better. A lot easier when you're doing an adz roll. I know some of you guys wanted to have it bite into the jam, and I found like I'd rather have the higher mechanical advantage, the ease of rolling it, so the tool functions better. So I'm running through on these and doing that to all of them. So it's going to get loud, but it's just the process. So hopefully mics work like they're supposed to. Always wear safety protect glasses. Don't be like me. Maybe I'll throw them on in a sec if I get yelled at because I'm doing unsafe practices. That's step one. And then I'll have to grab TikTok and pull you over. I'll show you guys the rest of what we're going to do. We're going to go through this thing. So I just added a little bit of a bevel to the bottom side of this. I'm going to go through the rings. I'm going to QC the rings, see if we got to grind those down at all. And then I'm going to take the top of this too. I'm going to make that bevel a little bit, that bevel on the edges here, that chamfer a little bit thicker on there. That way impact it. We don't have any chipping or anything like that going on. And then I'm going to QC the bottom of this thing, make sure it's nice and flat, and also going to make sure the thickness of it is right where we want it to be. I'm going to do the same thing to the forks over here. So that happens for you guys on camera number 2. And then I'm going to pull this guy. TikTok stays mobile. TikTok comes with me. So boom, TikTok comes over here. I know my lighting kind of sucks. Hopefully this isn't too loud. I got to get some more belts ordered. We got about an 80 grit belt on here. Whoa, whoa, we got to plug it in. Plug it in, plug it in. Get this baby plugged in. There we go. Beautiful. Just a hair on this fork. It's a little thin. We want them thin, but we don't want them so thin that they chip, right? So make sure they stay even. And then I'll even just take the corner just a hair, just a little bit. Even that sucker out. Double check our rings. This middle ring is always the one that the dies kind of shift on you a little bit. So they're always, this middle one probably the worst. Again, we just wanted something to be able to hang on to, right? And we forged it right out of metal. That one's done. Go back over to our camera. Boom, boom, boom. Come on over here. TikTok, I gotta take you wherever I go. All right, this guy's next. Put him in the clamp. Hit this bottom with the flap wheel. I got my bar in the way, hang on. Boom, boom, boom. All right, you know what? You should be doing this. I guess since people are paying attention, I'll do it. You guys will have to wait over here. TikTok, you can come with me. All right, I'll throw on some damn glasses, okay? I think I got some floating around here somewhere. All right, you guys happy? You happy? I'll put on some damn glasses. Safety squints usually win for me. But, you know, being all official and everything. Coming back. All right. All right, there we go. Let's see, am I official now? All right, you guys yelling at me. See, there it is. Midwest Misfits, pipe down. Safety squints win 90% of the time. 95% of the time until they don't. And then that's not great. But all right, there. You guys happy? There, safety glasses are on, all right? All right, back to work. And that's the flow on the QC process. We can only get it so good from the forge shop, and then we got to come in and fine tune it, which is an extremely difficult process to do at scale. So this first forging run will be done like this. Moving forward, we'll have to, well, hey, when you guys order a Chicago Adz, you're getting one that's been tuned by me personally, or somebody here in the shop has been coached personally on how to do this. So maybe we'll just keep it going, man. Highest quality possible. So anyway, fire this guy back up. I'm gonna hit that bottom again. Hold on, blocking cameras. Can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. There we go, that's not bad. Ooh! See if I can hit that. Got a burr on there I got to take care of. Came from the Ford shop. Gonna have to clean that up. Nobody wants to run their hand into that. I don't mind this bevel on here being pretty big. It helps me can that tool over. When I do an adz roll, be able to roll that over. When you got 4 of them on each side, again, you're just hitting those different fulcrum points as you roll it over. There's a burr on this guy. Over here on this side, I gotta clean up. Don't let me forget to do that. Almost on both sides. Keep an eye on that. And I'm checking the thickness. So this one's a little thin, so I'm gonna take it back a little bit as well. Right about there. Beautiful. Hit the corner. I touch the corners just a little bit. Just a hair, so you can't corner load it. And then forks a hair thin, so touch each corner. Just a little bit. Pretty good. TikTok, come on over. Come on over. The only thing I'm doing on this guy here, I want to hit this back side of this. It's got a little bit of a burr on it. I'm going to try to hit that with the flap wheel real quick. take this guy. Right there. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. That is one good looking Adz, man. She's a beaut, Clark. These will also get a double check on the straightening, make sure we got to do any straightening. Those will come later. We got to get them through the bins first, do the QC on the tuning, and then we'll straighten them. Fine tuning, just when you got to use a little bit of straightening on there. Checking for comments. Yes, it's Chicago Adz. Somebody had asked, it's Chicago Adz. Yeah, doing fine, final tuning before Black Oxide on the Chicago Adz and the Kelly version as well with the turned Adz. Doing both of those. What's up, Scoots? I'm not here, Scoots. You don't see me. Maybe you do. Benefit of a Chicago Adz in general over a Halligan? Somebody's asking. A lot. I'll grab this guy and do some show and tell. Somebody was asking what's the benefit. So I got to bring you over here by the other camera, and then I'll get you in close. So spikeless for one. We found I don't want a tool telling me how to dictate how I can move my tool. I want to tell the tool where to go, right? So I want that spike out of my way so I can roll this tool in any direction. So if I'm going top side on a door, I can always roll down, right? And take advantage of the gap high, and then just work that gap down the door. So it makes forcing doors way, way easier. So again, sledge face, having the weight in there. I can always add a jam now if I need to as well, has the weight in there. I can use this tool as a striking tool. I can hit or be hit. So that weight on the end there is super, super big. It has an 1.75" Adz on there. So this has a 15-to-1 in the 26-inch. In the 29-inch, it has a 17-to-1 mechanical advantage. And then our inside fork ramp we have on here is made to actually give you more throw. It's made to keep you a higher mechanical advantage. It keeps the forks from wrapping around the jam. You can continue to work this inside fork ramp, giving you a 23-to-1 mechanical advantage when you're between your hash marks. So you pair that with a capture, and you just maintain a really high mechanical advantage with the forks. I can use 2 of these tools. I can capture my progress with this. I can capture my progress with this on this side, and those 2 tools can work together where one just continues to capture and continues to create distance and capture all distance that's happening. So when you do bar and bar techniques, man, there's nothing like it using these 2 tools together. One guy just keeps capturing either in or closer. So really, really cool. And then of course we have these things designed to be married together really, really securely, right in like that. So super secure without getting stuck. So again, that bar and bar technique, way better with this than a traditional Halligan bar. Why would you do it? Do you make one with an extra wide Adz? Absolutely not. I love that. People always want a wide Adz. Absolutely not. A wide Adz makes an easy door easy, but it makes a hard door very hard. So the wider I make this, the lower my mechanical advantage is, right? So if you had like the Maximus Rex or whatever the hell it is with that wide Adz on there, you're only getting like 11-to-1 mechanical advantage on that tool, even though it's a 30-inch bar. So no. I can deal with throw later. I would rather have higher mechanical advantage. I can deal with throw with tool placement and proper tactics. So no, we would not do an extra wide Adz. I think that's for people that, I don't know, want to be lazy on residential doors. I can force a door pretty quick with a 1.5 inch, 1.75 adz. So hopefully it answers your question. Somebody asked if we'll make one with an extra wide adz. Nope. Nathan King asked, when will they be able to purchase again? If we do call it a pre-order, it's basically gonna be a stock pre-order. If we do it, we're gonna wait till we have everything in stock. But the process of getting these out is taking a little longer than we want. So we might open up for purchase again, but it'll be in limited batches, right? So as we're shipping out the current orders, we might open up again on the website. Don't say website. I don't know, it's not on website. Might open up on TikTok Shop. I have to say TikTok Shop so I don't get in trouble. TikTok Shop. Somebody's asking, can you explain that mechanical advantage to me? But anyway, let me finish answering my question. Eventually, yes, pre-orders will be open again. If we even want to call them a pre-order, it might be just an order with a description of the lead time will be in the product description, right? The estimated time before delivery. So somebody asked to explain the mechanical advantage. Well, so your mechanical advantage is always your working lever, which is end of force to fulcrum divided by fulcrum to load, right? So use your long lever divided by your short lever. That is how you get you calculate your mechanical advantage. So if I make this short lever longer, my mechanical advantage is going to go down, right? So this is a 26-inch Kelly version Chicago Adz that has 1.75 inch adz on there. And so 26-inch divided by 1.75 gets you right around that 15-to-1. It's like 14.9, I think it is. I don't know, I'd have to look it back up. But basically a 15-to-1 mechanical advantage. On the 29-inch, you're taking 29, which actually a lot of times, because of the way these are manufactured, that there's about a 1-inch variance. A lot of times they're coming out to about 30 inches. So we call them 29, but they come out to about 30. So you're taking 29 divided by 1.75 gives you that, that 17-to-1 mechanical advantage. Now, the inside fork ramp, depending on distance, right? The distance between your fulcrum point and your load stays within here, wherever you are on this ramp, until these forks wrap all the way around your jam. And so oftentimes, especially when you're doing quick pushes and having it captured, you're not going all the way across, not letting those forks wrap all the way around. So this keeps a really high mechanical advantage up front, especially if you have a tool capturing everything you're putting into it. This is where you're getting upwards of a 23-to-1, right? If I got a 26-inch bar, I'm about 3 inches in. This is 2 inches in, so then halfway through would be right about 3 inches in, right about here. I have about 1 inch distance, right? So you're getting that 23-to-1. Take 3 inches off of 26, 23 divided by 1, right? 23-to-1 mechanical advantage on there. Sometimes 0.75 if real narrow, so it's even higher. So that's why we like fork work with this inside fork ramp, because you can have such a high mechanical advantage on there. Somebody else had asked how long until you release the longer bar. So we did pre-sell about 100 29 inches Chicago Adz, and we will release should have another 300 or so coming through, a little bit less than that, because we did make some Kelly versions of them, and those will be available to stock order or pre-order, even though it's not a true pre-order because it's not under manufacturing. They've already been manufactured. They're coming through now. That'll be available in the next month or so while we work through our current pre-orders. So if we do it, it'll be a short lead time pre-order when we know they're already on the way. They just need to be QC'd and sent to Black Oxide. So hopefully that answers your question. Where are you guys based out of? Somebody's asking where we're based out of if you do meet and greets. Well, we go to FDIC, the big trade shows. We're based in the Chicago area. If you're ever in the area, you can come on by and hopefully get out and start doing a lot more trainings. I don't know if you're in the fire service or not. Hopefully on the tactical side of things, we start doing a lot more training too with police and entry and doing tactics, showing how to use 2 of these tools and a lot of our other tools as well. So yeah, we're out of Chicago area, brother. So now I lost track of where I was. I grabbed the Kelly bar. I did that one. Uh-oh, we got yelled at. See, I didn't even say nothing. I'm getting yelled at by TikTok, but I didn't say any of the bad words. TikTok's yelling at us again. I accidentally said I want to sell on TikTok Shop is where I really want to sell. I got to say that so the robots at TikTok understand me. I really wish I could sell on TikTok Shop. I wish they'd let me open up my sales page on TikTok Shop, but they won't let me. And instead, they're restricting my video, even though I didn't say any of the bad words at all. So I'll try to appeal. Somebody's in North Carolina. He's going to come by in June. Well, we'll be available halfway through June. After the second half of June, we'll be back. We're actually going to be in Michigan at Great Lakes Hot the 9th through the 14th or so. Before that, I'm going to be in Germany. So it'll be all over the place. But the second half of June, if you're going to be around, give us a holler. Shoot us a message. So somebody said he's been a big fan of the Chicago Adz for a while, but he wants the extra length. I've always been an advocate of the Nathan, I'll let you know here in a sec. Somebody had asked a question. But I've always been a fan of the shorter bars, especially when doing close quarter stuff and needing to drive your tool and needing clearance for it. I've always been a fan of the shorter version. Now, I will say, going spikeless and the ability to move this tool in either direction and kind of starting to look at just going high all the time, there's less need now for actually driving this tool. If you're on an inward swinging door. Outward, we typically have enough space no matter what. There are some times where you have walls, tight walls or recessed doors, but a lot of the times we have plenty of room on outward. But on inward, again, doing bar and bar techniques or going spikeless, I have started to find that 29-inch or 30-inch I'm starting to gravitate back towards because, again, I can always go down. I can just gap the door. We're less need to actually strike and drive this tool because of our ability to create a gap, capture that gap, have somebody else capture it for you, whether it's with a bar, with your tool, or with a wedge, and then just work that gap. Man, it's so fast, so the energy needed is reduced. Everything is reduced instead of driving that tool. So I don't know. So again, I'm starting to like the longer one as well now, as opposed to always being that shorter one. But you have more weight. It's a little bit longer in case you have a wall on each side. To each their own. So why the Kelly versus the standard? So I want to touch on this. Good deal, Johnny. Thank you. Thanks for jumping in. Why the Kelly versus the standard? So I'm not going to give an answer that I think most people consider. See, I don't understand. TikTok, you guys suck, man. My live is being restricted on TikTok. Who knows why? I don't know what words I said. Come on, quit that, TikTok. So my answer on why the Kelly version. So most people want the Kelly because when I'm driving this tool, right, and I am going, basically, so your standard version, where I am driving this tool and my bevel is to the jamb, meaning this side is towards the door, the Adz limits your throw. I've never considered that really a problem because I'm always capturing my progress. So even if I get a small little bit out of this, as soon as I hit that Adz, I already have that space captured. So I just reverse my tool, throw this, go bevel to door, and get all the throw I want. And it's done very quickly because my progress is being captured constantly. So the argument that you want the Kelly version so you can always get maximum throw because your Adz is out of your way and you're articulating over the fork side of this, no matter your bevel to door or bevel to jam, while I think that is a bit of a benefit, I'm starting to like this for bar and bar techniques because how these two are being married together, how I'm using this to strike and drive. And again, just creating space and capturing space, I'm less worried about the fork drive, so that doesn't really bother me. But if I am by myself and I am using this tool to hit and drive, I like the orientation of this a little bit more. The other thing I'm starting to like more, if I am by myself, I'll show you guys this way, and I am doing an adz roll, I'm starting to like how my palm, I can push off of this end of the bar or this side of the fork, and it's wider, so I'm putting my hand all the way out here instead of this digging into my palm. So I'm starting to like that. I can even put my body on this thing, and I'm rolling it down and putting my body on there, and it's a way more comfortable. So I'm starting to like that. And then again, if I am by myself and I am driving my forks into the seam, if I had to, it keeps you, if you are by yourself, let me grab, this is not, this is the Molnir that we never got going, the old Molnir. But if I am by myself and I'm driving these forks, I like this being upright instead of being this way, right? Because now I'm kind of crossing and I don't have to worry about going in line. Now all of our tools typically have a nice wide striking face on there. So it doesn't play it, but this is definitely more comfortable when I'm driving this way by myself because I have a little bit more space up and down to hit. So those are the reasons I am starting to like the Kelly version, and we'll see if we eventually just have this basically be the standard. So that's the latest. So I don't think I missed any other questions. Jay, thank you. Appreciate you, Jay. Up in Ann Arbor, my old stomping grounds. I grew up in southeast Michigan, Saline area, Ann Arbor area. So thanks for jumping in, Jay. Appreciate you. So, all right, so I'm just gonna keep this thing rolling. As I told you guys, I'd start doing live videos and just let them roll for a while. And so hopefully you guys get a little concept, an idea of how hard we work on this stuff and well, whatever. So, so I'm gonna just keep after it here. Feel free to hop in and give us any questions if you got them. I will answer them. We'll use this as a communication tool if you guys got any questions. I'm gonna start tuning this guy up here. Switching cameras. Get a hold of yourself, guys. Whoa. Whoa. Crazy. Come on. Oh, switch gear. So every single one of these is getting the same treatment, man, on all of them. So bear with us. If you have one on order, we're doing the best we can. shut down the TikTok. I'm gonna bring it back up in a minute. See how this works. Let's go back. Jumping back live on TikTok. Jumping back live. Jumping back live. Just come back in, man. They try to make it go away. Just bring it right back in. Back on the live on TikTok. Just running through all these actually Chicago Adz is what they're called, not Halligan. Chicago Adz. This one, standard version. I'm just running through and QCing them if you guys didn't know. Get to see the fine works, the detailed works we do on every single one of these. They say it's good to go live on the TikTok. So I'm going live. Although I wish I could use TikTok Shop. They don't like me. They don't like me. Every single one of these we're running through. Every single one of these Chicago Adz tuning up for you guys. Move that over there. This one's got a little work to it. Bring you guys in a little closer, why not? There we go. Oh, loud noises, be careful, loud noises. Clearing this bottom here where it's a little bit sharp. We don't want sharp corners, right? You want to be able to have a bevel or a chamfer so it rolls easier. All right, sharp corners, you got to go over that sharp 90. You hit sharp corners, what are they going to do? They're going to break. Oh man, I had the wrong camera running. Forgot to switch back over. Sorry guys, I left everybody hanging over there. My apologies. My apologies. All right, let me get this thing fired back up. Again, this one I like to run a pretty big chamfer on there. Or bevel. Quiz time on TikTok. Quiz time on TikTok. Can anybody tell me why they called this side of the tool, the bevel side of the tool, versus the underside, the back side, right? And actually, I should say on your forks. Why do they call this side the bevel side versus the underside? right? One is concave and one is convex. Why did we call this side of the tool the bevel side of the tool? Who's gonna answer on TikTok? Maybe somebody. We'll see. Looking good, man, looking good. Change it up, change it up. Get you guys squared away over there. Shh, shh, shh. Amigo. Ernesto, what's up, man? Come on, there's a few people on TikTok. Nobody answered it yet. Why did we call this the bevel side of the tool? And this side's not. Why was this side originally called the bevel side of the tool? Come on, TikTok, somebody's got to know this. I'm waiting. Don't worry, I'll wait. Bring you guys in a little closer. Loud noises. Nobody answered it yet. Come with me. Wait for that belt to center. I know this one's tough. Get the angle right for you guys. I don't want to block the camera. Sometimes you got to. You just got to block it. It is what it is. Somebody said, beveled key point of the tool making a wedge in the door. What's up, Kevin? And Nate said, is it because it's curved and not at a 90-degree angle? Well, you're onto something. You're onto something as far as beveled edge. You know, let me turn this down for a sec so you can actually hear me. Can you hear me? I don't know. Let me know if you guys can hear me over the noise of this. I don't know if you can or not. But somebody had said beveled edge to the seam or something. One was because it's curved. Kevin, beveled key point of the tool and making a wedge in the door. So, why was this side? I used to think when I was naive, and this is because I came up in the fire service, I used to think anything beveled was something that had curvature to it. I thought that the bevel meant it's where it was curved at, and it was the outside edge of that curve. Not even paying attention or knowing. You just come up in the fire service, you think, oh, yeah, curved, bevel. The forks are curved. It has a bevel side. It has an outside curved side. So, fun food or fact here. This was always the side, so a bevel is anything cut at an angle, right? So cutting something, a beveled edge or a bevel corner is at an angle. So this side of the tool was where, at least like originally, like on your Pro Bar, your original Halligans, this is where they would put the bevel in the forks. They would bevel it. Now we don't want bevels anymore because we know we want this nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. So we don't even put bevels in it, and that's what we're doing here, going through all this tuning operations we have here, is making sure this is nice and smooth and not too thin. But it was always where the bevel was, even though this technically, right, is the convex side of the tool, and this is the concave side of the tool. We always call this we still call this the bevel side of the tool, even though there is no bevel anymore. Interesting, right? Why do I do that? I don't know. Just verbiage, man. Don't go too much, just a little. Pretty good. Pretty good. Come with me. Bada bing, bada boom. Serb, if you're still there, you had a question. How did I get my start? Well, you missed the question. I was asking if anybody knew what the bevel side of the tool was, and we had a couple answers, and then I put out my answer. Somebody had asked me, how did I get my start? That's a great question. How did I start this? I always liked using a maul. As a fireman, I liked using a maul because I could hit the crap out of stuff and I could also chop with it. But there was never one really made for the fire service. And so because of that, there was nothing with like a wedge-shaped blade. You couldn't, you know, everything that was out there, it was just like a splitting maul. It was too fat. I couldn't capture my progress with it when I'm opening doors. I couldn't wedge stuff with it. I couldn't pry stuff with it. And so I thought, why is there not a maul for the fire service? And the only thing that was out there was a TNT tool, which I didn't really like. It didn't have the weight, didn't have a wedge-shaped blade. And so I started with the original fire maul, and I ended up actually turn that off, sorry. I ended up actually developing a blade system for the fire service. I ended up patenting a blade system and patenting them all for the fire service. And then I found a knack for, instead of taking adopted tools, which most people do in the fire service, we just adopt tools instead of actually designing them for the job. I set out on this path of continuing to innovate and create better products for the fire service. And now we've got Adz, and we've got Halligans. Well, we'll call it Chicago Adz, not really Halligan anymore. We got lighter mauls, we got our mauler, we got Reaper 3.0 coming out, we got our chopper tool coming out, and it's developing tools actually designed for the job instead of adopting tools and just making them work. So that is how I got started in this, going on 10 years ago. Sir, thank you for the question. So, all right, I think this guy is good to go. I'm gonna put it in the bin. I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm probably gonna jet. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of inside look. That's why I popped up the live, got the live going. We'll try to do it a lot more. But I'm gonna jet. Got a lot of work to do on these guys. Oh, loud noises, sorry. Got a lot of work to do on these guys. I'm gonna do one more here for you. So if anybody else has any last questions, shoot them over. I'll be happy to answer them. Excuse me. You need a club. Just wax them. I don't know what that means, brother. I don't know what that means. I can give you guys a closer look over here. I'll bring you guys right up here, side by side. A little bit of a closer look. So even though we have a bevel in here, we're going to make it a little bit better. Clean this up a little bit more. Both sides, bottom side and everything. So that's what we're running through and doing on these guys. Trying to make everything as perfect as possible. A daunting task when we've got hundreds of bars to send out, but we'll do the best we can. That's all we can ask for, is always just doing the best you can. Pretty good there. Take that corner just a hair. Just a little. Not too much. This ring needs some work. This one's not... That one's pretty good. Hit that corner just a hair. Hit this other corner. Woo! And that's all she wrote. I'll run through everything I looked at on this guy. Pop you guys over here, switch you guys over there. Sir, what's up, man? Well, hey, man, I'm glad you're welcome to the job. Glad you're falling in love with it. Glad you're a truck guy. Glad you're on the job. Hopefully we'll see you out there. Running through this is the last. I gotta bounce out of here. So, sir, thanks for jumping in. Anybody that comments, man, we appreciate you. Comment as much as possible. Anytime we're doing this, hop on there, throw in some comments, ask me a question. I'll do the best to answer as many of them as I can. So just engage, guys. It helps us out a ton. Gets more people onto the onto our feeds here. So we appreciate you guys asking questions. So running through what I did to this guy. So this one's pretty. This one might get flagged as a factory second with this ring being that small on there. It really depends on how many, we end up. Again, we said that middle ring, when it's being forged, sometimes the dies kind of hit it again, kind of smush it. So we got to clean them up. But it's the best we can do. We're forging this thing with where these dies meet in the middle. So, I hit the top of this thing. I had a nice chamfer on the top of this thing. He added one to the bottom, added a bevel to the bottom. Again, that way this thing can cam over really easy. We made sure this wasn't too thin through here. On the front side of this, make sure it wasn't too thin. I touched the corners just a little bit to clean up those corners. The other thing on here, I checked the thickness on the forks. They're right where we want to be. And made sure there was no bevel. The bevel was good, and then just hit the corners a little bit so it doesn't have sharp corners on there. So that is the overall process on getting these things cleaned up. So that's it, guys. That's the latest. Thank you for jumping in. I need to call the missus because she was just calling, and I sent her the voicemail. Don't tell her. I'm going to be in trouble. All right, so I got to call her. So thank you guys for hopping on. We appreciate you. I'm going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it. So you guys take it easy. Be safe. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy this weather. If you're in the Chicago area, it's gorgeous. So we'll see you guys later. All right? All right.